This video will combine all the information you need for your IGCSE organic chemistry in 1 minute. Crude oil is the source of all organic molecules. Alkanes are made from crude oil by fractional distillation. Fractional distillation separates alkanes according to their boiling points. Alkanes are converted into alkenes by cracking reactions. Cracking reactions require both heat and catalyst. From alkenes, you can make two important products. First are addition polymers, which are used to make plastics. In addition, alcohols are also made from alkenes by hydration, which requires three important conditions. First is a temperature of 300 degrees Celsius, a pressure of 60 atmospheres, and phosphoric acid catalyst. Alcohols can be converted into carboxylic acid by oxidation reaction, which requires acidified potassium manganate as an oxidizing agent. Both alcohols and carboxylic acids are converted into esters through a condensation reaction, which requires concentrated sulfuric acid as a catalyst. Let's start with the concept of atoms. Atoms are made of three subatomic particles. First are protons, which determine the position of the element in the periodic table. Second is neutrons, which vary among different isotopes. Note that protons and neutrons determine the atomic mass. Electrons determine the chemical properties of the atom. Oxidation is when electrons are lost, while reduction is the gain of electrons. Let's now move to chemical bonding. Atoms bind to achieve stability by completing their outer shells. Covalent bonds form when nonmetals bind to one another. Covalent bonds involve sharing of electrons. There are two types of covalent molecules: simple and giant. Simple covalent molecules tend to have low boiling points due to weak intermolecular forces of attraction. They are poor electrical conductors due to the lack of mobile electrons. There are two main forms of giant covalent molecules. First, it's diamond, which is tetrahedral. Second is graphite, which forms hexagonal layers. Both diamond and graphite have high melting points due to strong covalent bonds. Diamond is a poor conductor due to the lack of electrons. Diamond is hard due to the strong covalent bonds. Graphite is a good electrical conductor due to the presence of mobile electrons. Unlike diamond, graphite is brittle because the hexagonal layers can slide past one another. Metals conduct electricity in all forms due to the presence of mobile electrons. Metals are malleable because the cation layers can slide past one another. Ionic bonds occur between metals and nonmetals. Ionic compounds only conduct electricity when molten or dissolved in water. Unlike metals, ionic compounds are brittle because ions of the same charge would repel when a force is applied. Both metals and ionic compounds are high melting point due to the strong electrostatic force of attractions. These force of attraction occur between cations and mobile electrons in metals, and occur between cations and anions in ionic compounds. We will first talk about physical and chemical properties that would apply for all metals without exceptions. For chemical properties, metals form cations and form basic oxides. The general physical properties of metals is that they are conductors of heat and electricity. In addition, they are malleable and ductile. Next, we'll talk about reactions of metals. There are three main types of reactions. First is a reaction with water. Here we're going to divide the reactions into two parts. First is a reaction of metals with cold water. This would only apply for highly reactive metals such as metals of group 1. In this case, the metal will form metal hydroxide and hydrogen. Less reactive metals require steam to react with, and in this case, they're not going to form metal hydroxide. Instead, they'll form metal oxide and hydrogen. For a metal to react with acid, it must be more reactive than hydrogen. In displacement reactions, metals that are more reactive reduce the less reactive metal. We will now move to the most important part of this topic, which is the extraction of metals. To determine the method of metal extraction, you have to check the reactivity series. If the metal is above carbon in the reactivity series, then the method of extraction is going to be electrolysis. If the metal is below carbon in the reactivity series, such as iron, then the metal is extracted by reduction with carbon. Iron is extracted in the blast furnace. There are 4 main materials required in the blast furnace. First, it is carbon, which is commonly known as coke. Second is hot air, hematite, which is the iron ore, and last is limestone or calcium carbonate. Carbon or coke is required as a source of energy because it burns in hot air to form carbon dioxide. Carbon is also required as a reducing agent because it reduces carbon dioxide to form carbon monoxide. Iron oxide in hematite gets reduced to iron by carbon monoxide to form molten iron. Limestone first undergoes thermal decomposition to form calcium oxide. Calcium oxide is required to remove impurities of silicon dioxide and form slag. The last part of this topic talks about alloys. Alloys are mixtures that are meant to make metals harder and reduce their chance of corrosion. There are 3 types of alloys that you need to be aware of. First, it is steel, second is brass, and last is bronze. Steel falls into 3 types. First, it is mild steel, which is required for car bodies. Second is high carbon steel, which is needed for cutting tools. And last is stainless steel, which is used for cutlery. The very first thing you should do is to identify the electrolyte. There are 2 types of electrolyte, aqueous and molten. In molten electrolyte, the product at the cathode is going to be the metal. You get gas at the anode and the electrolyte itself gets used up. For aqueous electrolytes, products at the cathode depend on the reactivity of the metal. If the metal was low in reactivity, such as copper or silver, you get a metal deposit on the cathode. For reactive metals such as sodium or potassium, you get hydrogen and the electrolyte becomes metal hydroxide. Product at the anode for aqueous electrolytes are halogen if the electrolyte was a concentrated solution of the halide. You get oxygen at the anode in one of 2 cases: if the electrolyte was a dilute solution or if the electrolyte was sulfate or nitrate. In both cases, oxygen is produced from the hydroxide ions in water. Number 1 is the definition of an isotope. Isotopes are atoms with the same proton number and different number of neutrons. The definition of an isotope is worth 2 marks. Acids are proton donor. You write the symbol of the proton would be worth the 2nd mark. A base is a proton acceptor. Hydrocarbons are compounds that are only made of carbon and hydrogen. Isomers are compounds with the same molecular formula but different structure. Unsaturated hydrocarbons are the ones that have carbon-carbon double bonds. Electrolysis is the breaking down of an ionic compound in molten or aqueous form using electricity. Equilibrium is the case where the rate of the forward and the backward reactions are equal and the concentration of reactants and products are constant. A catalyst is a substance that speeds up the rate of chemical reactions by lowering activation energy without being used up. A compound is a substance that are made of 2 or more elements that are chemically combined. An amphoteric oxide is the one that reacts with both acids and bases.